Would you love to have a side gig, something that's going to bring kind of a secondary revenue stream into your pocket every week, every month, every year? Something that maybe could grow to the point of even allowing you to get out of that job that you don't really like? Well, did you know that is possible in franchising? As a franchise owner, you can have basically this side gig that's giving you a secondary revenue stream and allowing you to eventually exit your corporate job. It's true. We're going to talk about that today. Who the heck are we? FranCoach is a national search firm dedicated to working with individuals like yourself interested in owning a franchise. I'm Tim Parmeter, the founder and CEO of FranCoach, and our number one goal is to help people get properly educated on what franchise ownership is all about to help determine if this is the path for them. One of the things that keeps people from even looking at franchising sometimes, it's basically corporate crack, right? And so it is the most addictive thing in the world. It is called a paycheck. People, they're paying you on the 15th and the 30th to sucker you into doing something and working your butt off for somebody else. Right? Yes, you're making some money every 2 weeks until, guess what? They don't want you to. We literally just had a client we've been working with the last few weeks. He's been with his company for over 20 years. The only place he has worked since he got out of college. Guess what? They just did massive layoff, and it is a humongous company. Massive layoffs, 20-some years, just like that. That crack that he's been addicted to in the corporate world is gone. Right? Not that it can happen to you, it's going to, right? So, but we know we get addicted to that. Some people aren't ready to do that. Others don't get the choice and they get kicked to the curb like I do, right? But what if you really want to start planning ahead? You want to find a way to get a secondary revenue stream, but not quite ready to leave that job. Well, in franchising, you're going to hear the term semi-absentee owner, okay? What this means, this is basically the fancy way of saying you as the owner are part-time in your business. Now, the business itself is running full-time, doing all part-time businesses, right? But the business itself is running full-time. Your role is part-time because you've got a full-time gig over here, whether it's your corporate job, your monthly crack addiction that they're paying you every 2 weeks, right? Maybe sometimes we'll have people that have multiple businesses. That's a whole other thing that we're going to talk about is how we scale these suckers long term. But for today, let's keep it simple. You're going to have your job, you're going to keep it, and you're going to have this business. So what does that look like time-wise? Well, this can vary from franchise to franchise. One of the things that we always want to share with people is franchises on the surface are going to look totally different from one another, even in the same industry. Right? We use the example to clients all the time, great clips and supercuts. To the consumer, it looks the same. Where you go get a cheap haircut. Behind the scenes, those franchises are vastly different from one another. That happens in every single industry. Those differences are not things that you can Google. It's proprietary. Our relationship with franchisors, that's how we know the difference when we're trying to match people. So why that matters to you is you're not going to know which franchises are open to semi-absentee owners. Not all of them are. Probably less than half are truly open and willing to take on a semi-absentee owner. So that's number one. Not every franchise is out there that's willing to do that. Secondarily, is franchises are going to have a very different meaning from brand to brand to brand, what semi-absentee means to them. We may have some franchises that think that could be 8 to 10 hours a week you've got to dedicate towards your business. Not too terribly difficult. Others, it might be 20 to 25 hours a week. That might be a little bit more challenging, and everywhere in between. Okay, part of our job, we're going to help figure out what you can do, how many hours, what things are you doing within those hours to be able to match you properly. But for today's purposes, think of it from this standpoint. Most of what you're doing as a semi-absentee owner, you are going to be managing the manager who is running the day-to-day. Somebody's got to be there doing what you would be doing if you were there full-time. So that manager is really, again, and managers as you grow, but that's your point person. You are really, again, overseeing them and making sure they have all the resources they need to run the business, right? Whether that's restaurant and they've got all the different workers in there, whether we are going to, all we do is clean pools, right? That manager is making sure they're either doing the work or they're making sure your technicians are out in the field. You're going to be overseeing all aspects of your business. The marketing, making sure our marketing dollars are going the right place. What do the metrics look like? Overseeing the financial. Some owners still like to get out and maybe be the face of the business, get out and connect. Build relationships, create awareness for the business. If it's something that has a physical location, you're going to roll in there from time to time just cause it's yours. You're going to be able to meet your team, your manager, your crew, whatever that might be from time to time as well. It really ultimately is what you want, but you've got to make sure however many hours a week you are supposed to be working it, you are doing. Could that be first thing in the morning, later in the evening, mix in throughout the day, whatever you want. It's your business to run. Make sure you are putting in the time. That business, as it grows, it can always stay semi-absentee, and that's okay. But oftentimes what people are wanting to do is, again, it's that exit strategy. Get me out and get me out of this, right? As the business starts to ramp up, now it can be that exit strategy from your job, right? And now you've taken control of your life, your freedom, flexibility, schedule, the control over what your ceiling is of how much money you're making, and just overall in your day-to-day life. Now you can take that business and grow and scale and do whatever you want with it, right? But that semi-absentee ownership is really a way for you to basically get your toe in the water, become a franchise owner, get that secondary revenue stream. Maybe you're actually one of the few people that love your job. Good for you. But it allows that secondary income stream. It also allows you to have that opportunity to use the franchise as your exit strategy from the corporate, right? Reach out to us. We're the ones going to be able to help you with this. FranCoach.net, set up a time to speak with somebody on our team. There's never any fee for our service. Really, there's never any fee for our service to be able to do this. Subscribe right here and listen to all of the different things that we're going to talk about to help properly educate you on franchise ownership. But if you'd like that secondary income stream, maybe even that exit strategy someday from your crummy job, then let's help you create your better tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in. We'll talk to you next week.